What's up, guys? This is Xcal64 here, and I'm going to bring you another battle. First off, I'd like to apologize for my audio levels in my first video. I know they were a little low, but I think I've got that fixed. Secondly, this battle is a little long. The end, I'm going to have sped up a little bit because it's a little ridiculous, some of the moves. And anyways, that's about it. Let's get to the battle. Alright, you guys, here's the battle with Jewstrike, or Jewstriker, from the Marriland Forums. I think it's Jewstrike. He leads off with an ambi palm. I lead off with my Registeel, and he goes for the fake out since he's a lead palm. And, and then he U-turns out, which is good. As you can see, he's life orb, so that's just good to know later on in the battle. He U-turns out to Electivire, predicting my Thunder Wave on him, which was good. Apparently he's fought some Registeels before. And I decided to keep him in because I'm not too worried about whatever he can do, whether it's Cross Chop or, Earthquake or, maybe a Flamethrower or something, if I think he can learn that. I decided to stay in, set up my Stealth Rock, now switch out to my Dracula, who I figured can take his Cross Chop pretty well. And in the past, I have gone against Electivires with this thing before and taken Ice Punches at max health. This time I wasn't quite there, but I decided to stick for it. I survive with the 16 points, get off an EQ, and just like that, I drop him in one shot, and I'm in a pretty good position right now. I'm up on him 6-4, but that's all about to change because Dracula's only got 38 points left, and he's basically just going to keep him as death fodder. Ambi Palm comes in, fakes him out, Dracula's down. So I decided to go back into my Blaziken. Or go back into Blaziken and hit it with a Vacuum Wave. I'm not sure why he stayed in. Maybe he was thinking he was faster. He was going to use like Mach Punch or something. But if he had Mach Punch, I think he would have went first anyway because those are pretty fast. He sends in Tyranitar, sets up Sandstorm, and I don't know why he sent him in, but I guess you find out later that he switches into Shuckle to see what I would have used on him, and he sees that I have Superpower on here. But I take him down to more than half, which is pretty good, or less than half. And the Sandstorm's up. I know that his special defense is higher because he's a rock type, and there's a Sandstorm. But I thought I should go for the Fire Blast to take him out, but it misses. Which, oh my gosh, you have no idea how much I wished that this would have hit that thing. Oh, you will not believe this is crazy. This is insane at the end. So I switch him in. My Registeel in. He switches out to Gengar, predicting a Seismic Toss, or maybe not predicting, but it was a good call. I use Seismic Toss, and then he goes for a Substitute, which I was not expecting, as I use my T-Wave again. So I'm basically epically failing right here. And this is where the battle seems to take a turn. I mean, I'm starting to get whooped right here. So I'm predicting he's going to use, I don't know, like Focus Blast or something, and he goes for a Pain Split, which I guess I should have seen coming, considering he's got sub, he's defensive. But the key thing I sent Latias in here to do was to break the Sash, or to break the Substitute, because I need to send in my Weavile and hit with Pursuit, because I know that Gengars cannot survive a Choice Banded Pursuit from Weavile, whether they stay in or not. So now he's down to 3/4 or so. I switch him in and get him with the Pursuit, but not before my Latias was sent out as Death Fodder, which was pretty critical, but I never ended up needing her anyway. So he sends back in Shuckle, and I'm stuck on Pursuit, so I switch out to my Suicune. And this part, oh my gosh, I totally messed this up. I shouldn't have been so stupid. I use Calm Mind, and he wakes up and uses Encore, and I speed this part up right here because all I do is stay in and use Calm Mind because I'm stuck on it. But I'm figuring that the Encore might run off after about 2-3 turns, But I was wrong. I use Calm Mind again. Calm Mind again. He gets a Crunch off, which takes me to about half of what I had, Sandstorm. And I don't get the Encore taken off, so basically I just Calm Mind a billion times and die. So that was pretty bad on my part. I wish I had Suicune later. I send in my Weavile to use Low Kick to take it out. but he switches out to Shuckle, which gets a crit and doesn't even do very much. Oh my gosh, this Shuckle caused me so much trouble. It was absolutely crazy. This was like a half an hour, 45 minutes of just basically going at this thing. So I predicted Toxic, 'cause that's basically all he can do, and I switch into my Registeel to take it. And right here, I use Seismic Toss just to see how much it can do. Takes him, and I'm figuring, alright, one more Seismic Toss will take it. But no, he's got Rest, and oh man, I really, really wish he didn't have Rest, but what's a Shuckle without Rest, you know what I mean? But I know that my Registeel cannot die from that thing because all it has is Toxic and, you know, Encore and maybe some other moves, but he can't Toxic me, and the Sandstorm can't take me down. So later on, it's basically just this stall battle between my Registeel and the Shuckle, which is kind of ridiculous. But he switches out, figuring that 2 more Seismic Tosses would take it out. He switches into his Tyranitar, which I'm not too worried about. I was thinking it was maybe going to use Earthquake or something, which he doesn't have. He goes for an Aqua Tail, which doesn't do too much, does about 100, which is just fine by me. I paralyze it, just in case Seismic Toss can't take him down on the next turn. And use Seismic Toss, which didn't quite get him down, well, yeah, kind of like I predicted. So I stick in here, you know, just to get the last Seismic Toss up on him after his Aqua Tail miss. And there goes his Tyranitar. And to be honest, that's about the main thread of his team. Here at the end, he did have one last bit of hope, which was his Pikachu, which is a pretty awesome choice. I don't fight anybody running Pikachus or Raichus or anything like that. So he uses T-Bolt, obviously, in the beginning there, and it does a fair amount, but nothing I'm worrying about. I stick in, save with a Seismic Toss, and as I hit him, I get the paralysis, and this was the key point that he needed to take me down. I heal up, get about 200, 207, and he uses another T-Bolt, and as you can see, it does about half of what I have left because the leftovers, and I get the Seismic Toss up, and that was the key point that he needed to beat me. He needed the paralysis hacks, which could have cost him the game. Most likely it does, but so his Pikachu's down. All he's got left is Shuckle, and it's a shame right there I was paralyzed because I am faster. I could have got the Seismic Toss up on him, but sadly I was paralyzed, so he gets the rest up, and this is just about the beginning of, well, annoyance. It's not really a stall war because I switch into my other guys, but man, I don't know why I did. I should have just kept Ironhide in there, but I didn't. I figured I could get in there with a Weavile and use a pair of Ice Punches on him, or or 3 of them while he's asleep, and finish him off. Even right here, when I get an extra shot, he gets Toxic on me. I use another Ice Punch, and as you can see, it will not kill her, or kill Noodly. And man, this took so long. We were talking to each other the whole time during this. It was like, man, this is crazy. I mean, I can't, Sandstorm, Toxic is taking me down, and all the while, we both know that he can't do anything to my Registeel, which for some reason I should have left in. So Weavile goes down, and I figured, all right, Blaziken, let's use Superpower. That doesn't kill it. And he used Rest, and that's probably where I messed up, because as you can see, Fire Blast does just a little bit more right there, but I think that right there is about the minimum damage I can do, because later on I use a Fire Blast, and it puts him over half damage. And see, another Fire Blast, and had that Fire Blast there in the middle hit, that would have been the game, but unfortunately this is me using my last Fire Blast. You can see it does over half, but my Life Orb Sandstorm kills me, and I switch him in, and he's asleep, which is terrible, but this is what I should have did in the first place, because as you'll be able to find out, it only takes 3 Seismic Tosses to take this thing out. Right here, I was talking to him, I was like, dude, you want to call game? You want to call game? Because I can't take you. This is right about after I used 2 Seismic Tosses, and I was like, dude, I can take him out while he's asleep. So that's the game against Jewstrike, and it was a good game. It was a stall war there kind of in the end, kind of a stall war, but man, it could have been, a lot of time could have been spared had I just been smart and kept my Registeel in there. But hey, it kind of made for a close game, even though you couldn't take it there in the end. But yeah, that's my battle for you guys. Thanks, guys. Peace.